Happy Saturday, everyone. I just moved down to the floor so I could pet Bert while I'm going live here. I thought it would be fun to come on here and just talk a little bit about episode 6 of my new podcast, Dog Enrichment with Tori Mystic. So I have this new podcast series. Bert, what is on you? I feel like I'm always finding a tick on this dog. This has been the worst tick fall. Every time I go to pet him, I'm like, is that a tick? Sometimes it's just like a skin tag or something, but sometimes it is a tick. So this new podcast, Dog Enrichment with Tori Mystic, episode 6 just came out this week, and I'm so excited. The show's going really, really well. So far, there are over 500 streams of the show, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a brand new show that just started coming out 6 weeks ago. And it's getting new subscribers and new views and new listens every single day. So I'm really, really happy with it. And the premise of the show is each episode is a deep dive into a different category of dog enrichment. So I'm a certified canine enrichment technician, and I've been blogging about my life with dogs for about 13 years. So I have a ton of experience and expertise in the dog world, but I see so many pet parents, they're just starting to learn about dog enrichment. Dog enrichment's such a buzzword right now, but I think what's happening is that there's so many brands doing marketing and advertising around dog enrichment, trying to get you to buy like the latest toy or some kind of puzzle or a thing or chew that's gonna like be the longest lasting chew ever. And well, that's great. And I love to see people innovating and releasing new things. There's more to dog enrichment than that. And so on this podcast, I'm really sharing with you the science behind all these different categories. We're talking about 8 different categories. So we've got cognitive, visual, auditory, scent-based, food-based, environmental, physical, and social enrichment. So those are all the different categories that I'm covering on this show. Episode 1 was kind of just like an intro to what is dog enrichment. And then episode 10 will be a recap of like all the best things that we've learned and how to take it forward in your life. So it's like a really nicely packaged 10 episode mini series that I've released, a limited series. And I'm really excited about it because I think that once it's all out, I'm hoping that dog trainers and dog behaviorists and veterinarians and dog sitters, that all these people will share it with their clients, because the show is really designed to support everyone else, all the other service providers in the pet industry. So if you're a dog trainer and you're trying to help a family and the dog is a little bit wild and can't settle and doesn't know how to calm down or is a little bit nervous or a little bit anxious, you could say, this dog, you need to do more enrichment. But the people are like, okay, yeah, we'll do enrichment. So we'll give them a peanut butter Kong. But that's not really going to address all of those things. So instead, I would love if everyone just said, hey, check out this episode of the Dog Enrichment with Tori Mystic podcast, because, sometimes it's hard to get people to like trust in your own expertise. You almost need like a second expert to be like, go listen to this. And on my show, I'm not just like spouting out my opinion. I actually went and found all these research and studies that are being done at different universities and research centers, and all kind of different stuff all over the world. There's some really fascinating research about dog enrichment. So anyhow, it's just a great resource. It's something wonderful to share. If you're a pet parent, I hope you listen. And if you're a dog professional, I hope you'll listen and maybe share it with your clients or just get some fresh ideas of your own. You don't even have to credit me. I just want all the dogs out there to experience all the great stuff about enrichment. So check it out. Check out the new show. Thank you. This is my dog, Bert. He is patiently waiting. We're going to go for a walk, but we're waiting for it to warm up a little bit because I live in Pittsburgh. It's chilly here, and I'm going to go walk him in the woods, which is like part of our enrichment routine that's really important to us. He loves to sniff. He has an amazing nose, and he loves to sniff everything. So I make sure to try and take him out to the woods every single day. That's just part of our routine, and I let him sniff. So actually, that's a perfect transition because this week's new episode of the Dog Enrichment with Tori Mystic podcast. See, I came down here to sit with Bert, but he's like kind of sitting in a weird a weird angle. So maybe we can both be on this way and you guys can still see how cute he is. So I'm talking about my new podcast, Dog Enrichment with Tori Mystic. It's available on all podcasting platforms if you're interested in dogs, or if you have a turtle. You might learn some cool enrichment stuff, but the studies I'm sharing are specific to dogs. So this week's episode is a deep dive into scent-based enrichment for dogs. And I pulled a couple of really interesting studies. So in each episode, there's like 2 or 3 scientific studies. I share how you could do it in your real life. I do a listener question, and then I'll share some products that are related to that type of enrichment to help you implement it or try it out. So the studies that we talked about this week, and you can learn more, click on my profile, subscribe to the new podcast, and you'll be able to see it there. But the studies that we talked about this week, one of them, the researchers trained 12 dogs to lie still in an MRI machine without any sedation. So first of all, right off the bat, that's pretty cool and pretty impressive. Getting the dogs to lay still so they could, take imaging of their brain while they were exposing them to different scents. And it was really important that the dogs were not sedated because you want to see their brain activity when they're not sedated, to see like really the true picture. So they gave the dog little samples of scent from their owner, their human, a stranger person, a dog that they knew, a stranger dog, and then their own scent. And what they found is that when the dogs smelled their owner, their brain like lit up in all of the areas related to love and trust and safety, like the pleasure center of their brain, where they feel the most satisfaction and the most joy and the most love. So that's why we say that to your dog, you smell like love. And it is scientifically proven. They looked at the brain, the area of the brain that shows love. And love also includes like safety and trust and comfort and all of these different things. When dogs smelled their person, they felt love. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's in this week's episode. Another cool, thank you. Isn't that cool to know? I think it's pretty cute. Another study that I shared in this week's episode was really cool because it took pet dogs. So usually these studies are dogs in shelters or they're dogs who are like maybe professionally trained to do a thing. So it's actually not that common to see studies done with pet dogs. So that's why I thought this was really cool as someone who has been researching this a lot. Oh my gosh, Bert, look at how he's laying now. That doesn't look very comfortable. But what was so cool about this study that they did with these pet dogs is they had half of them do scent work training. So scent work training, for example, a good activity for that is hiding a scent in a cardboard box and then asking the dogs to search and find that scent. You have to kind of like train them to identify the scent. It's a process. I did it with my previous dog, Lucy. But it's really fun. And it's really, it's very bonding for you and your dog because you're kind of a team and you need to like learn to read their body language and their signals for when they have found the scent. So anyhow, they had half of these pet dogs do scent work training for 2 weeks. And the other half of the dogs did obedience training for 2 weeks. And what they found at the end of the 2 weeks was that the dogs who did scent work were more optimistic and they just literally looked at the world glass half full. And I just thought that was so cool that like, I think trick training can also be super enriching. Obedience training is like asking your dog to sit, stay down, and then walk in like a heel. That's what they were doing in this particular study. But the scent work, your dog is able to make more choices. They're given more agency. They're almost kind of the one who's leading the operation, like they have to find the scent. The person's not telling them what to do. The person says search, but the dog has to go find it. So giving them this opportunity to be like independent thinkers and problem solvers, and just like tap into their natural ability to use their nose to find things, it made them more optimistic. So what this means for us is that if you have a dog who has separation anxiety or anxiety around other dogs or leash reactivity or is just nervous around new situations, doing scent work could actually rewire their brain to be more optimistic and less afraid of new people, new dogs, new situations, whatever. So, I think this is beneficial for everyone, and I thought it was just so fascinating to learn. Like I said, if you want to learn all of this, you can go check it out in this week's new episode of the podcast. And I hope you'll follow and check it out. So I just wanted to hop on here and go live, but we're going to go to the park. We're going to go for a walk. He doesn't look like he's ready for a walk, but he'll perk up when we get out there. So I'm going to go take Bert for a walk on the trail. It's been a bad tick year. Like I said, I just feel like every time I pet him, I'm like, is that a tick? So it's been a really bad tick year, and someone recommended to me to get a dog bandana that is treated with permethrin, which is like a tick repellent. So I need to go look into that. That'll be my next Amazon order. If anyone has any ideas or if you've ever tried that, please let me know how it went. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a really great Saturday, great weekend. And if you have some time this weekend, or if you're doing chores or driving around or whatever you're doing, I hope you'll listen to the Dog Enrichment with Tori Mystic podcast. It's available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. There's 6 episodes out so far, and it's going to be like a mini series. There's only going to be 10 episodes in season 1, and you'll be able to go like kind of binge listen to all of them, but there's 6 out now. So please go check it out, and I hope you have a super great weekend. Thank you for watching. Yes. Oh, lavender and peppermint. I have some natural tick repellent wipes that I'll put on him before we go in the woods. But I'm just looking for any and all protection that we can get because here in Pennsylvania, they're really bad. So I hope that they're not so bad wherever you are. Thanks for watching so much. Make sure you follow, check out the podcast, and have a great weekend.